And now the sound of a woman eating crisps. I wonder if that's picking up. Hi! Welcome back to Doctor Review. I'm Chris. And we're here to talk about a steaming pile of shit. We are in the second to last episode of the Chibnall era here in our Doctor Who Marathon, and it is the special, and I use that word hesitantly, considering it's not even like, it's like less than the recent average length of an episode. It's 48 minutes. But boy,
it feels like
does it take more than that from your life. Legend of the Sea Devils, written by Ella Road, allegedly, and Chris Chibnall. I think he just wanted someone to be a bulletproof vest for him, or a human shield.
Somebody wrote this?
Two people, apparently. Directed by Halu Wang, who... Okay, how do I put this? The direction might be great. The edit doesn't allow any of it to shine.
Ooh, Nelly.
Holy shittington. Now, you might be thinking, God, they're being harsh immediately. Buckle up, bitches. We're going to get harsher.
A bumpy ride.
We've been doing recently a thing where we've sort of done pros and cons to try and condense it inwards. And I think it might be a good idea to do that now with this one. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Pros. John Bishop looks adorable in his pirate outfit.
He does.
The Sea Devil costumes look fantastic.
The TARDIS under the sea. That's magical.
The shot of the giant sea creature swooping upwards to devour the TARDIS is an all-time greater. An all-time greatest hit. Looks fantastic. And Nadia Albina as Diane, who is uncredited, suits the short hair.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. Let's go into the cons, shall we? No, there are a few other things to like about this. Jodie's costume is great. The fact that she's sort of matching with Yaz and Dan is fun, but there's no reason given for it. Well, so it's kind of odd that the Doctor just suddenly is dressing a period appropriate for no reason. Like maybe if they were having to blend in somewhere because they were previously aware of a thing that they were looking into and they needed to blend in, sure. Because that's the only other times the Doctor's done it before.
Yeah.
Like Talons of Weng Chiang, the Lazarus experiment, only before have they ever been like, okay, the Doctor, need to take this a bit seriously. I'm going to put on something that I can blend in with.
Well, it looked comfy.
It did. But why was she wearing it?
Why.
She's never done it before.
Maybe she was in her gym jams.
Get out.
Sorry.
Are you seriously defending Legend of the Sea Devils?
No, I'm just defending Jodie.
Isn't it depressing? Not counting.
Even though she wouldn't have picked it.
Not counting Silurian stories, just counting Sea Devil stories. We've had one good one and two shit ones.
Oh no. That's not a good sign.
Shame, innit?
Not a good sign.
That being said, I do like that what is the name of the big creature? The Hwasan. Hwasan? Hwasan.
Kraken. Let's be honest.
I like that is kind of Chibnall and Co. going, yeah, we all remember Warriors of the Deep. Yes, the Merca looked terrible. But here's what happens when the Merca idea is kind of scary.
Well, that's what they should have done then. They should have done some jiu-jitsu.
What he's saying is there should have been someone in the middle of one of the pirate ships awkwardly karate chopping at the creature.
That would have saved the day.
I like the fact that the Sea Devil's sort of ship was a piloting rig inside of the sea creature. So it was an independent creature, but it was also their vessel.
Really?
Yeah, that's when the TARDIS gets swallowed. Then they open the doors and they're in the Sea Devil's labs.
Oh yeah.
And inside the ship, inside the creature, was the repurposed boat, the repurposed ship that they used when they were going up onto land.
That fish must have some serious indigestion.
Yeah, I'm like, what does it get out of this? Does it ever actually eat anything? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just crap. I can't think of much else to say that I like about it. Ying Ki is played by Marlo Chan Reeves. He is incredibly charismatic.
The lad.
Yeah. He has these moments of sheer bewilderment and joy at what's happening where you're like, yeah, same mate, I'd react the same. God, you're adorable. He plays it well. I think that Crystal Yu as Madam Ching does an alright job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's her fault that she doesn't shine. I think it's very much the edit and the lack of moments in the story that actually show off why she's a legendary pirate.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's mistaken for being the murderer of a man, and then harasses Dan and Yin Ki, and then that's kind of it.
Yeah, and I really do not.
Oh, but she's trying to save her crew. All right, I thought she was a ruthless pirate. Oh, she's doing it mostly because her kids are there too. Okay, are we gonna see her sort of like we should have had the people that were coming for the ransom come for her?
Yeah.
To like get it or something, and then her like it tie into the story and her kick their ass and like take their vessel and be like, I'm gonna go back with their vessel and I'm gonna win my crew back and save my kids. And it's like, we can come with you. And she's like, no, I've got to do this alone. And you go, yeah, she's more than capable. She was already steering a ship by herself. Like, you could have done that.
Yeah.
But they don't really give her anything to do to make her look amazing. Same with Arthur Lee as Ji-hun. Like, legendary pirate Ji-hun. What do we see him do? Surrender to the Sea Devils and then sword fight in a really choppily edited way. So we can't focus on it. Oh, boo. Don't let the swords touch your skin.
Oh, yeah, because I was just going to let that happen anyway.
Up there with one of the lamest lines of dialogue in any television
it was said
program.
off screen, so it was obviously added in.
Oh god, there's loads of that, isn't there?
Oh.
There's loads of off-camera dialogue in this
I
that
feel like
suggests
nobody
that.
checked over this episode before it went out.
Well, no, that's why there's loads of off-camera dialogue. Because in the edit they went, oh god, we don't have that. Oh, we need more context for this. Well, we've had to drop this whole bit. Oh god, okay. Just write a line there. We'll get Jodie to say it when we get her in for ADR. Okay, write a line there. We'll get Arthur Lee to say it in ADR. You know, there's a lot of that. Here's with your notes because I feel like I'm just going to be taking continuous shit on this episode if I keep talking.
Let's see. The CGI cracks in the statue at the beginning that Madam Ching, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Was obviously trying to open at the very, very beginning, where its dad was trying to stop her.
Yeah.
The CGI cracks were so shit. They looked like 2D. They looked 2D on top of this.
It wasn't the finest.
No.
Yeah.
They were awful.
Like you can see what they were going for, but it just didn't pay off.
No. You could. They've done cracks in things before, so there's no excuse really because it just looked awful.
Can I ask in like 2 sentences? What was the plot of this episode?
Madam Ching wanted her crew back. Sea Devils want to flood the earth.
All right, that's the cliff notes. But like the plot. So she wanted a specific. She was like she needed a ransom to pay. She went for a specific jewel that she believes may give her the key to a long buried treasure. That jewel was somehow the prison of a sea devil trapped in a statue.
Oh, you've gone past the 2 sentences.
The semicolons. Like, who then goes, great, I'm out. Oh, and here's all my crew. Because they must have seen that I've been freed. It's like, hang on.
I don't get it.
Couldn't they have just freed you? Well, no, the statue had a guard. A guard that you just killed really easily with your poison sword. A guard that is literally an old dude who's about to be replaced by a younger dude.
He wasn't old.
No, but you see what I mean? You see what I mean? Like, that's the guard. Also, yet another Chimney-era idea of a villain trapped for hundreds of years with a person watching over them that hands it over to someone else,
Oh, God. Right.
Repeated memes and tropes. And then he's like, we will take over the world and kill everybody. Oh God, I don't know if you've written it down. I do love the Sea Devil, land parasite. It's like, fair, that's not, Sea Devil is not their name. They are Silurians. They're called Sea Devils. They're just a different, like, species of Silurian.
Yeah, true.
But they're called the Sea Devils because that's what the first story's called. And then in Warriors of the Deep, they're like, those are the Sea Devils. It's like, no, they're not. They're not. We just call them that. We, the viewer, call them that.
And it's not really that imaginative, really. The Doctor wearing period clothes. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, the jump.
I think you mean the use the mouse to click on the Sea Devil in the corner and then drag it to the ship moment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad, isn't it?
Bad.
It's so
really
bad. And that's not even talking about the fact that for the entire scene
So
leading
bad
up to that, there are repeated shots, the same shots of him swinging his sword with the cloudy background, regardless of what's actually behind him. I'm alright, thank you. I just... Oh, that's... and what's worse is, they look really good, but then everything that's done to them undoes that. The slight curling of the mouth, and then like the CG manipulation of the brows, great. Later on, you noticed that the amulet of the Chief Sea Devil glows when he's talking, so it's a translator. But there are no shots prior to that highlight that. Maybe because they're in daylight and it's not showing up as much, meaning you should have CGI'd it so make it glow brighter or whatever.
Yeah, or a different colour.
So to compensate for that, they also have their throats undulating when they talk. So without seeing the amulet glow, your brain is going, what you're trying to tell me is that these noises are coming out of their mouths. Their mouths that are basically twitching. The twitching's fine if you know that it's being translated and you see the amulet.
How did he say the letter B?
Very poshly for some reason. And I don't think Craig Ells, Carvanista himself, returning, does a bad job as the Chief Sea Devil, necessarily. Like, his physicality's very imposing, he wears it well, considering it's a costume where, like, your eyes are in the neck and stuff. Like, that is a physically, like, imposing-looking creature. And giving them period-specific hybrid versions of their costumes that are both kind of robes and piratey and all that stuff mixed with the Sea Devil like netting and chain link and stuff. They look great. And then they do nothing. Like, they get defeated in combat so easily.
Yeah.
So easily. And it's just like, is that it? Really? Huh?
Bad.
Like, they've got a ship. Have a scene where they, like, have a fight with another ship. Well, a budget. Well, then don't do it. Do you know what I mean? Don't do it. If you can't pull it off, do something else. Sorry, continue with your notes.
Carefully.
Like, because the black spot works because it's meant to be one ship in the middle of the night where no one can do anything or alert attention because they're worried it's going to summon a devil, a ghost. Like, so that works. Whereas this is like, no, you're telling me that no one in this coastal town is going to be there and freaking out when the ship floats by. It's just this dead dude, his son, and a pirate queen who showed up. It's just them, really. Like, no one's going to be screaming, running around, no retaliation. No one's going to get in a ship and try to attack this thing. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, carry on. Yeah, it's
got
so
it out?
bad. No, keep going.
The editing, I'm going to go into it a little bit more, is so bad. There's the moment where, I keep forgetting her name. Madam Ching. Careful. She's talking to the lad, like because he wants to avenge his father.
Yeah.
And there's moments where you hear her voice, but her face doesn't move. Mm-hmm. So obviously that was added in
early on. Yes, the shot where she's holding the sword up to him, she shouts at him, and you look at the side of her face, and she's not talking.
She's not talking. It's bad. It's so bad.
And you could just crop the shot to focus more on him.
Yeah. The fact that nobody noticed that is quite shocking. This is Doctor Who, and they didn't notice. That's bad. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's tradition. Next thing you know, there'll be boom mics in shot.
Oh my god. To think somebody might be in the background of a shot.
I mean, Flux ended, didn't it, with that? So, someone in the bloody background.
The TARDIS under the sea, I thought was beautiful. Really
beautiful.
Yeah,
that sequence is gorgeous.
That's what I would want to do, 100%. I would want to, be above the planet and below to see what it looked like underwater. That's so freaking cool.
I think Sega Nakanola scores the hell out of that sequence and this whole episode.
The whole episode, yeah, really, really good. So that looked really, really pretty.
That's really nice.
Really when the Doctor says, "No ship, Sherlock." That was
Yeah,
quite
it
funny.
wasn't cringeworthy. It was very kind of like, it takes you by surprise.
Yeah.
You go, oh my God,
Oh, quippy.
they said the thing. And I don't think the Doctor realises what she's paraphrasing.
No ship, Sherlock. Yeah, it was funny. Dan killed 6 sea devils.
Yeah, Dan kills people. And there's a throwaway line of like, look, it's take it. The Doctor's like, take this or whatever. Or he takes his, I'm taking this. And one of them sort of goes like, are you sure? It's like, I mean, it's the end of the world. If this goes through, it's the end of the world. So it's like, okay, fine, we get it. It's like, bad stakes. Okay, fine. But you'd think it'd be to like protect himself. Or at least to defend himself and attack back when they attack.
Yeah.
So they arrive. 6 Sea Devils surround Dan and Ji-hun. And then Dan warns them how dangerous Ji-hun is. And then Dan slashes all 6 of them with his poisoned sword and kills them. And it's like, we're going to talk about this? Or... like, they don't even approach them.
No.
It's so weird.
I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't looking at that moment. So I didn't see that, so I'm just taking your word for it. But...
I said, Dad just killed 6 people, like, without any provocation from them, other than, oh, we've got to stop you. So he went, all right then. Well, they're dead now. Just, I don't know. The timey-wiminess of someone being suspended animation under the Sea Devils kind of, like, kidnap, I guess, is an interesting premise.
Yeah.
But it just begs the question, why have none of them come to free him from the statue then? They've just been hanging around with this like pirate captain in suspended animation for 200 years. Why?
Because they knew it was coming.
Anyone else?
No.
How do we feel about the Thasmin stuff in this one?
What?
13 and Yasmin. Thasmin.
Oh.
I like the earlier conversations because it's still like the Doctor hinting at the date thing.
I'm not a bad date, yeah.
And then later on, sort of, you realise it's because Dan's giving her the heads up and she's like, maybe I should say something to Yaz. And it's still kind of being played at that point as maybe the Doctor doesn't reciprocate the feelings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think that's a more interesting story to take. But then in the same thing, she's like, because if I was going to, like, date anyone, it'd be you. And then she's like, you're one of the most amazing people I've ever known. And I paused it, didn't I? I turned to you and I went, no offence to Mandip, because she's great. Why is Yaz one of the greatest people the Doctor's ever known?
I don't know.
Like, how? Yaz is pretty great. But, like, one of the greatest people the Doctor's ever known? Like, you buy Rose because it's a turning point of, like, oh my God, she brought him back to life, essentially. She brought the Doctor back to being the Doctor.
From the brink.
From the brink of, like,
insanity.
PTSD, depression, and, like... And then when he transforms, when he regenerates into, like, her space boyfriend. Which then explains all his behaviour once they're torn apart. And being more selfish and unsure of, like, what direction he's going in, but just being impulsive.
Yeah.
River makes sense. Meets this mysterious person, keeps meeting her in the wrong order, and the intrigue, the fact that he is on the back foot for once, you can see it in the way Smith plays it. Kind of a turn on. He's like, this is new, okay, and she's kind of amazing. All right, okay, and you get it, like you absolutely get it. I don't understand why 13 would fall in love with Yaz.
No, it seems quite.
It seems
like it's just been dropped into it.
It seems like they kind of don't want to upset the people who've anticipated it.
Yeah.
But I believe it from Yaz's side. I don't really believe it from the Doctor's. So when they have the conversation at the end of the episode, where they take 5 minutes to say what Tennant says to Piper in 2 lines of dialogue in School Reunion, like, it's basically they're going, yeah, no, I don't want to get into it because, like, she never says it outright, but she basically is implying, because you'll get old and die and things will change, and I don't want that. So can we just live in the present? And it's like, okay, sure. I've never known how to feel about it. Jodie and Mandip's chemistry is lovely. The notion of the Doctor and Yaz having a bit of a romantic thing isn't something I'm against.
No.
But what they presented feels way more like it's one-sided. Yaz in love with the Doctor, and the Doctor doesn't quite feel the same.
Yeah.
So when they suddenly go, actually, the Doctor does feel the same, but is reluctant to do it, I'm like, really? Where's that come from? How do you feel about it?
I thought it was a bit random.
Yeah.
Until you told me it was, people were shipping them.
People had sort of just noticed that they've got these lovely little moments and stuff, and yeah.
I don't mind it, but the Doctor has been in love like 2 times.
A handful more than that, but I know what you mean. 2
times in like modern era.
A couple more.
What? Who?
Nurse Joan Redfern.
Huh?
Nurse Joan.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Crap.
Too late. We've already said 2 hours. If you count in like pre-Wilderness years, the sort of the passion whirlwind thing with him and Grace is absolutely a romantic kind of but they both kind of acknowledge by the end, yeah, let's not rush into something like this. Grace, the TV movie.
Oh, sugar, yeah.
Yeah. Madame de Pompadour.
That's true. So
whilst he's with Rose and his space boyfriend.
So, yeah, he's had a lot. Sorry, they've had a lot of.
The 11th Doctor and Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, they've had a lot of romances. they married Queen Elizabeth first.
Yeah, the 11th Doctor and the lady in his last story. I can't remember her name now, but the one who gets turned into a Dalek drone later on. Like, there's implications that they've been romantic.
I just don't see why this is a problem. Do you know what I mean? He's had so many.
Oh, you mean you don't see why I find it weird that the Doctor?
No, I don't see why the Doctor wouldn't.
Right, I see why the Doctor's suddenly like, oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that to me makes it feel like they don't feel the same way, but doesn't want to be.
Well, that's the thing. Like, maybe the implication would then just be like, I don't feel about you that way.
Mm.
I adore you and I love you to bits, but not that way.
Mm.
But then, yeah, no, they sort of lead with that, and that's kind of an interesting story because it's a story that doesn't often get told in TV. Let's be honest, story about like sort of polite rejection and the trauma that can then cause of like, do we stay friends now or?
Well, a bit like Martha.
Well, yeah, but the difference there is the Doctor had no idea it was there.
Yeah.
Like he had no idea it was. They never had that conversation.
Mm.
It's only at the end when she turns around and goes, I had a thing for you.
I can't do that.
You definitely don't have a thing for me. It took me too long to realise that to myself. I need to get out because this isn't healthy. But I still want to see you because you're my friend. I'll see you soon. Like, there's an interesting place for them to do that story here if they wanted, which would then also explain why Yaz feels she has to leave when the Doctor regenerates. Because as it stands, it just seems weird that they're like, well, I guess that's the end of our time together now. Bye. But we'll talk about that next time.
Mm.
Can we wind this one up because we're on
I think that was it.
75%ers?
Yeah, that was it.
We thought this was shite.
Shite. Real shite.
Although I like that Dan and Di are going to at least finally meet up and catch up.
Yeah. Because
it seems a bit of time has passed for her.
Is Dan leaving this one?
Next one.
Oh, right.
But it seems like enough time has passed for Di that she's like, okay, it's not Dan's fault. Let's get together and have a chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's go for a coffee.
What do you all think of it? Do you like it? Surprise me. Let us know down below. And we're going to take a brief break now. And then record Part 3. See you shortly.
Nice.
Don't let the swords touch your skin.